For the price of moving expenses and paperwork, you could receive $28,000 over 3 years to start a business in southern Italy. That is not a headline from 2019 that expired quietly. That is a documented program still accepting applications in 2026 from regional governments desperate enough to pay foreigners to save their dying towns. Everyone has seen the headlines. Italy pays you to move there. €1 houses. Free money to live la dolce vita. Most of those articles list programs that closed years ago, or distort the requirements so badly that thousands apply and nearly all get rejected. We spent weeks verifying which programs actually exist right now, what they truly cost, who qualifies, and what happens when the money stops but the commitment continues. We found 5 legitimate relocation grant programs currently active across Italy. One offers up to $100,000 in the Alps. Another pays monthly stipends for 3 years in exchange for opening any business in a village of 800 people. These are real. The requirements are strict. The bureaucracy is Italian. And for those willing to commit, the opportunity is genuine. Before we begin, if you find this valuable, subscribe. Next week we examine which Italian regions actually deliver on healthcare quality for expats. You will want that information. Number 5. Tuscany mountain towns. The program nobody mentions because Tuscany sounds expensive. Under the Residenzialità in Montagna initiative, the Tuscan regional government offers between $10,000 and $30,000 for relocation to mountain municipalities with populations under 5,000. The Garfagnana Valley and Apennine villages like Abetone participate. This is not Florence. This is not Siena. These are stone villages at elevation where winter closes roads and summer brings hikers. The grants cover housing purchase or rental costs and settling expenses. You must establish legal residency, meaning obtaining a permesso di soggiorno if you are non-EU, registering with the commune, and proving you live there primarily. The program runs through 2025 with budget allocations refreshed annually. Applications open through regional portals, typically in windows lasting 60 to 90 days. Documentation requirements include proof of income or remote employment, a relocation plan explaining why you chose that specific municipality, and evidence of housing secured or intended. The challenge is mountain living. These towns sit hours from major cities. Winters bring snow that locals manage but newcomers find isolating. The grants are substantial, but the lifestyle requires accepting remoteness as feature rather than flaw. A remote worker from Germany who relocated to a Garfagnana village in 2024 described the first winter as brutal. No hiking. Limited social activity. But come spring, when trails reopened and villages hosted festivals, the investment made sense. The grant covered his first year completely. Number 4. Sardinia Rural Relocation Grants. The island allocates $15,000 to individuals moving to municipalities with fewer than 3,000 residents. Money applies toward purchasing or renovating a home and cannot exceed 50% of total costs. The property must become your primary residence and you must move in within 18 months of purchase. Sardinia faces demographic collapse in its interior. Coastal tourism thrives while inland village is empty. The regional government views these grants as economic intervention. Bring people, revive services, justify keeping schools open. Over $45 million has been set aside, enough for approximately 3,000 grants. Eligible municipalities include villages across the Barbagia, Ogliastra, and inland Gallura regions. These are not beach towns. These are stone villages where shepherding remains actual employment and the nearest hospital sits 40 kilometers away. The landscape is stunning. The isolation is real. Sardinia requires EU citizenship or valid long-stay visa before application. The grant disperses after property purchase completion and residency registration. Some municipalities add local incentives on top of the regional $15,000, though these vary and change annually. A British couple who relocated to a Barbagia village in 2023 using the grant described the process as bureaucratically exhausting, but financially transformative. Their total property cost $28,000. The $15,000 grant covered over half. Renovation costs ran another $20,000. For $33,000 out of pocket, they own a 3-bedroom stone house outright in a village where neighbors bring food, and the silence is absolute. Number 3. Molise Monthly Stipends. This is the program that started the headlines. In 2019, Molise introduced the active residency income offering $700 monthly for up to 36 months to individuals, relocating to municipalities with fewer than 2,000 residents and starting a business. That totals $25 and $200 over 3 years. The program remains active, though funding is limited and applications competitive. Roughly 100 municipalities in Molise qualify, including Fornelli, Pizzone, Castel del Giudice, and Guardia Regia. These are mountain villages where population decline is not abstract statistic, but visible reality. Empty houses outnumber occupied ones. Requirements are explicit. You must be between 18 and 40 years old. You must start a business, any business, registered with Italian tax authorities. Restaurants, remote consulting, craft workshops, all qualify. You must commit to operating that business for at least 5 years. The grant pays monthly after residency confirmation and business registration. The catch is genuine commitment. You receive $700 monthly, but you are running a business in a village of 600 people. Your customer base is limited. Your suppliers are distant. Success requires either remote clients or willingness to serve the local area plus tourists. Failures happen. Several recipients closed businesses within 2 years and had to repay portions of the grant. But those who align their business model with reality find opportunity. A web developer from Rome moved to Fornelli, continued serving clients remotely, and used the grant to cover living costs while building a local presence. After 3 years, the grant ended, but his business remained viable, and his cost of living stayed minimal. Number 2. Calabria Entrepreneurship Grants. The active residency program in Calabria offers up to $28,000 over 3 years to individuals under 40 who relocate to towns with fewer than 2,000 residents and start a business or find employment in priority sectors including hospitality, retail, and agriculture. Villages participating include Albadona, Santa Severina, Bova, and Colonia. These are settlements where depopulation is crisis. Schools close when student numbers drop below viability thresholds. Medical clinics lose funding when patient lists shrink. The regional government treats these grants as emergency intervention. The $28,000 disperses in installments tied to milestones. Initial payment follows residency registration and business plan approval. Subsequent payments require proof of ongoing operation and tax compliance. You must move within 90 days of acceptance. Extensions are not granted. The program emphasizes speed because bureaucracy already slows everything else. Calabria's challenge is economic sustainability. The region has high unemployment and limited infrastructure. Starting a business here means operating in an environment where customers have constrained spending power, and supply chains require planning. Tourism offers potential, but seasonality creates risk. A hospitality entrepreneur from Milan relocated to Santa Severina in 2022. She converted a vacant building into a bed and breakfast using the grant plus personal savings. Year 1 was difficult. Occupancy rates disappointed. Year 2 improved as word spread and booking platforms gained traction. By year 3, the business sustained itself and the village gained 6 seasonal jobs. The grant made the initial investment possible. Her persistence made it work. Number 1. Trentino Alpine Renovation Grants. This is the largest program by funding and the most recently launched. The autonomous province of Trento offers up to $100,000 for purchasing and renovating properties in 33 designated mountain municipalities. The grant breaks down as $80,000 toward renovation covering 40% of eligible expenses, up to $200,000, plus $20,000 toward purchase price. Applications opened in May 2025 and continue in rolling windows through 2026. The provincial government allocated $10 million total, with capacity for approximately 100 households. Eligible municipalities include Bracimo, Livo, Rabbi, Vermiglio, Valfloriana, and Campitello di Fassa. These are alpine villages where abandoned houses outnumber inhabited ones. The requirements are stringent. You must commit to living in the property as primary residence or renting it at controlled rates for a minimum of 10 years. If you violate this commitment, you repay the grant in full. Renovation expenses cap at $200,000 to prevent luxury developments inappropriate for village character. There is no purchase price cap, but the $20,000 grant covers only 35 to 40% of acquisition cost. Each applicant can apply for up to 3 properties if part of a unified renovation project. Beneficiaries must either own the property at application or acquire ownership within 6 months. Those already residing in the target municipalities cannot apply unless they are over 45 years old. The program specifically seeks new residents, not subsidies for existing ones. The process requires navigating Italian bureaucracy at provincial level. Applications submit through online portals requiring digital signatures, technical reports from certified professionals, and detailed renovation plans with cost breakdowns. Funding typically disperses within 60 days of approval, allowing work to begin by late 2025 for early applicants. Trentino offers something the southern programs cannot: proximity to Austria, strong local economy, winter tourism infrastructure, and Alpine quality of life. The villages are remote, but they are not abandoned economically. Ski resorts, hiking tourism, and cross-border commerce provide employment beyond agriculture. A couple from Bologna applied in the first window for a property in Rabai. Their purchase price was $85,000 for a 2-story stone house needing complete interior renovation. Estimated renovation costs total $180,000. With the $80,000 grant plus $20,000 toward purchase, their out-of-pocket expense drops to $165,000 for a fully renovated Alpine home. Equivalent properties in accessible mountain towns elsewhere in northern Italy exceed $400,000 easily. 5 programs. Grants ranging from $10,000 to $100,000. Locations from Tuscany's Apennines to Sicily's interior to the Dolomites. Each with documented requirements, active application windows, and verifiable municipal participation. None are free money. All demand genuine relocation, legal residency, and multi-year commitment. Several require business creation. One requires 10-year occupancy. The honest reality these programs address is demographic collapse. Italy has villages dying, schools closing, services vanishing. Younger generations left decades ago for cities and never returned. Regional governments now pay foreigners and Italians from other regions to attempt what locals could not sustain. These grants are not generosity. They are desperation structured as incentive. For those considering application, understand what you are accepting. Italian bureaucracy is legendary for reason. Obtaining permesso di soggiorno takes months. Registering businesses requires navigating tax codes in Italian. Renovations encounter delays, cost overruns, and permitting complications. The grants cover portions of costs, but not frustration. Language matters more than optimistic expats admit. In villages of 600 people, English is not common. Daily life requires functional Italian. Medical appointments, municipal offices, contractor negotiations, all happen in Italian. Some programs provide language support. Most assume you will manage. These programs change. Funding depletes. Political priorities shift. The Molise program launched in 2019 with fanfare, operated for several years, faced budget constraints, and continues with reduced capacity. The Calabria program has been renewed multiple times, but each iteration adjusts requirements. What is active in 2026 may not be active in 2027. The best approach is monitoring regional government websites directly. Each region publishes bandi, official calls for applications, on their institutional portals. Trentino posts at provincia.tn.it. Sardinia at regione.sardinia.it. Calabria at regione.calabria.it. These are the authoritative sources. Third-party articles, including this one, provide overview, but official bandi provide binding terms. If a program interests you, act strategically. Visit the municipality before applying. Walk the streets in February, not August. Talk to existing residents. Ask about internet reliability, medical access, and what happens when roads close in winter. Romanticizing rural Italy is easy from abroad. Living it requires accepting realities that photographs omit. Verify visa eligibility early. Non-EU citizens need long-stay visas before residency registration. The Digital Nomad Visa launched in 2024 offers one pathway for remote workers. Investor visas exist for those bringing capital. Elective residence visas suit retirees with proven income. Each has requirements and processing timelines. Grants do not waive visa requirements. You must qualify independently. Budget beyond the grant. Renovation costs always exceed estimates. Furniture, appliances, and utilities add quickly. Property taxes, while lower than Northern Europe, still apply. Healthcare through SSN is accessible, but supplemental insurance is wise. Assume you will spend 30% more than projected and plan accordingly. These programs offer genuine opportunity for those whose life circumstances align. Remote workers with stable income. Retirees with pensions. Entrepreneurs with viable business models adaptable to small markets. Families seeking radical cost reduction and slower pace. For these groups, the combination of grant funding, low property costs, and Italian quality of life creates value that urban Italy no longer offers at accessible prices. The grants are real. The villages exist. The bureaucracy is navigable. And for those willing to commit years rather than months, to learn Italian rather than expect English, and to build community rather than merely occupy space, these programs deliver what they promise. Not fantasy. Not easy. But genuine and available right now.